All right. First off, thank you all for coming. Quick disclaimer: I do not work for Blue Sky. I'm just passionate about ATProto, and with that, let's focus the game up. So everything on the itinerary. First off, the current state of end-to-end encryption on ATProto basically doesn't exist. All DMs on Blue Sky, they go through Blue Sky servers, which is bad. Hopefully, we can help change that soon. Goals in the end-to-end encrypted working group. We want open source. MLS has mostly been decided on. Things like stickers, reactions, file transfer, multi-device. You want to be able to pick up a conversation on another device, metadata privacy, basically Signal, but on the app as well. Things that we're not working towards, things like public chat rooms, Slack, Discord, nation state level security, AtPscope. And then non-message content.
Oh man, very good working group.
Yeah, there's a separate working group dedicated to non-message related encrypted content. Separate issue. I didn't have a good place to put these just thoughts. I think that all ATProto apps should be able to easily allow users to communicate with each other regardless of platform. And I think that PES to PES for messaging, message passing, or routing makes a lot of sense. It's just a good spot for that in the presentation. So it's just kind of weird, I guess. This is what we want to avoid. A lot of you are probably familiar with this problem. But yeah, situation, there are 14 computing standards. 14, ridiculous. We need to develop one universal standard that covers everyone's use cases. Yeah, soon there are 15 competing standards. And so, my sort of solution to this problem, and what I've been working on for the past month, is SkyChat. Hopefully a unifying standard. It's an upcoming messaging app and reference implementation of itself, essentially. So it's meant to be a drop-in replacement and extension for messaging on Blue Sky and other ATProto apps. It aims to fully match existing and future Blue Sky chat functionality. So that's current things like they just added message reactions. So I can go ahead and add that. It already has all of the necessary tooling to implement end-to-end encryption. Once the community comes on consensus on basically schema and architecture. So it's just a single mono repo that has everything in it that's necessary for end-to-end encryption. So that's like tooling for working like the core Rust code and generating bindings for that in a bunch of different languages. And this approach allows for developers to drop in the SkyChat library for chat features today. Well, very soon, at least. And later on, hopefully, with a single update, we'll get end-to-end encrypted group chats, and it'll all just be seamless because the library handles everything: rendering, communicating with Blue Sky servers, literally everything. All you have to do is get it an OAuth session, essentially, and the library just handles the rest. And it's themable as well, so you can make it, tweak it to look like your own app, essentially. SkyChat will soon be making its way into Skylight Social at the announced. I have a quick demo. And for that, I will. This is what SkyChat looks like today. So that's the OAuth implementation. And this is where the demo becomes interactive. If you send me a message now, it will show up.
Center of the screen.
Oh, move the demo to the center of the screen.
Oh, I can't actually, because
Oh.
yeah, I have a window manager. But
So we need SkyChat to talk to you, right? Like to use this?
huh?
We have to download SkyChat to do this?
Yeah, so this is the SkyChat app. No. So
Oh,
regular
that's
regular
on
Blue
Blue
Sky, regular Blue Sky
Okay.
DMs. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. And yeah. If I open up a message here, and I can even reply. Looks like nobody new messaged me, but this is what a chat request would look like. And it's reversible as well. And yeah, that is the demo.
You make really good presentations. That's super cool.
Thanks. Yeah, so Q&A. If anybody has any questions.
Will you write an RFC?
I will encourage someone else to do it.
Will you write a spec?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is kind of a dumb question, but like, why not like something like work something like XMTP? I know the answer to that. Just curious what you thought.
Yeah. XMTP. I have some like personal experiences with like. I don't know. Like my thoughts on XMPP is that it is very close to what the ATProto community wants, but it ties itself a little bit too heavily to the crypto space.
Yeah.
In that its architecture is not open. It's I think the term is like federated or almost like a republic. So not anyone can just like host it, and that's so that they can collect fees and. I don't like the idea of fees for like sending messages. Like if in order to send messages to someone, you have to like load like an Ethereum wallet. I think that's kind of a pretty big barrier. So yeah.
If they were to talk about how, let's say, they had the incentive layer figured out, what would your rebuttal be for that, if you have one?
If they were to solve that, I might not have any.
I see.
But I think the type is solved.
I would like you to be more popular. I'm just curious how to address maybe like they would say maybe the incentive layer on their end they figured out because they have an Ethereum wallet.
And there is like a path where so part of SkyChat's design is that it basically isn't fully figured out yet. So the tooling is there, but like the architecture, those decisions, I have my own implementation that I've made and thrown together, but it's by no means complete and can be basically swapped out at any time. So if XMTP, the community agrees that that's what they want to move forward with, then I can totally integrate XMTP.
Well, I think what you're building is absolutely amazing. I think it's super cool that's going into Skylight Social. I'm just hoping to help maybe round out some of your edges and maybe help your adoption.
Thank you. And they got
Oh, so right now Scarlet is just like a wrapper for Blue Sky DMs, right? Or not Scarlet, sorry, the SkyChat, right?
Yeah. So right now the demo you saw is essentially just a wrapper around Blue Sky DMs. But the idea is that you can implement the package today, get that base functionality, and because all of the tooling and everything else is there, once you just update, it'll be seamless for all of the apps that integrate it, and that way it'll just be compatible. There's no competing. The idea is essentially to avoid this.
So do you have end-to-end encryption in there right now on top of the?
Not in the build that I showed off, but in previous builds, yes.
Okay. I've seen it work.
I have
How are you doing key distribution?
Key distribution. So right now, I just have a single central SkyChat server that I host, and it just hosts the key packages for everyone. Nothing complicated. It's just to get things moving. Any more questions?
Do you see the end-to-end encrypted chat implementation being something akin to like an app view with maybe a front end and then SkyChat is a front end and then Blue Sky could adapt it? But this sort of like right now DMs go through Blue Sky, right? And it's their servers and all that. But is SkyChat going to be like Skylight Social's like servers eventually, or do we see it as like something where almost like the app Geo is trying to create these community public goods? Do these something like that?
So these are my views, but in my opinion, I don't want to create these walled gardens. I think that like one of the core strengths of ATProto is that you have a single identity that goes across these platforms, and ultimately, if you connect with somebody on any of these platforms, I think it should be a single inbox, if that makes sense.
Not just cross devices, but across apps as well?
Yes, I personally, that's the future I want to see. But ultimately, I'm only creating a package if somebody wants to wall their application messages to that application. There's nothing I can do to stop them. That's their choice, right? But the feature I want to create is just a single inbox. I only want to have one messaging app, and that's ambitious, I think, but something worth working towards. Right? Good. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, totally. I got another one.
Oh,
When you talk about schemas, so you talked about like what does the shape of a message look like and its format, almost like a lexicon?
Not yet. So even more so than that. In order for messages to be compatible, you need to agree not only specifically in MLS, not only on the shape of the messages, but you also need to agree on the type of cryptography used. I think that part is agreeing on the type of cryptography to use or which ciphersuite to use is a very low barrier that won't be that much of an issue. But by default, one MLS implementation is just not automatically compatible with another. It's not it's very much a bare bones, very raw tool.
But the dream is to have them all be compatible.
Yeah,
right?
It's not just blanket compatible with another implementation. So it's like SkyChat will be compatible with other SkyChat clients and whatever the community comes up with. But there definitely needs to be a consensus to thing. Leaving things up to the implementation, there's not a lot of flexibility for that in a remote world.
Where do you see this in 1 year?
In 1 year, hopefully on the App Store.
It's a good goal. What issues do you expect? Technological or social adoption issues?
More Xcode billionaires.
Fair enough.
It's a good question. I think getting the community to agree on a single standard would be somewhat difficult, but I hope to have gathered some support here. And yeah, I think the future is bright.
Do you expect people to sign up for SkyChat accounts? Do you expect to support if you have a SkyChat app, having people sign up for their own SkyChat PDS on their own thing, or would you make people sign up for Blue Sky or Skylight? Does Skylight have their own PDSs yet?
No, they don't.
Would you sign up for Blue Sky or something first?
Me personally, I do not plan to do that for SkyChat. I don't see a SkyChat accounts being a thing, just because I have no interest in creating it, and it makes it easier for people to join if they don't have to do. If they don't have another login to remember, that's
So then do you see SkyChat becoming more of like a library package that Skylight Social uses?
Yes, yes.
And this is just kind of like a reference implementation for the time being?
Yes, yes, exactly. All right. And with that, thank you everyone for joining. And if you want updates on SkyChat and Skylight Social and other things, follow me on Sky.
So we had a couple